Hello and welcome, my name is TyrionLanstr. Alright guys, so here's what I'm going to do. It's time to take a look at a specific rebel leader, and today we're going to be hitting an Old Town bowman. Or an Old Town student is what they're called. Okay, so first of all, let's try and look and see which one is closest. I always like to just quickly do this. Looks like that 34 and 35 is closest. We'll check 39, 17 seconds to get there. This one's only 17. Looks a little bit better. See if the other ones were a little closer. 12. Okay, so we'll do that. It's 12. Okay. So as you can see, it's already at 1949, so I know I have my gear on. I know that I'm reducing it. I already checked that I have my castle skin on and my marching animation, so I know that's all good. Now, when I'm designing my formation, the first most important thing is that I need to have my lord in this hit. That way I actually get all the buffs from my equipment. So Enzo is my lord, and I'm always going to make sure I have Enzo in my lineup then. Now, who else is good? Well, Theon should always be in pretty much every single formation. As you can see, I have him and Enzo fully awoken, so that does help things a little bit. I will admit that Enzo at lower levels does change things, and I'm going to basically be doing this under the either you have a maxed Enzo or you have no Enzo approach. And I will just explain that I absolutely think that the maxed Enzo is not as good as actually some of the lower level Enzos. So if you have him at like green or blue and you're not a cav focused castle, keep him there. It is better to have him a little bit weaker. He will kill rebel leaders more efficiently because of the way his skill works, where basically the more damage he's taken, this perseverance stat, his attack increases by 1% for every 1% of health lost. So you actually want him to be like a little bit on the weaker side. You want him to kind of be dying a little bit more. The bonus attack and the bonus skill damage that I get is really not worth it compared to the amount of bonus damage that he gets from that percentage tick. That being said, with him fully awoken and everything, he does have really good stats. Same with Theon. Theon is a straight damage dealer. As you can see, I get a ton of damage out of him. I love that his passive ability is going to stack up to 5 times, giving me a ton of bonus attack that he's going to be doing. So he and Enzo are both essential. Sheila is also a very high damage dealer. She does a ton of damage with her skill, does a lot of damage with her attack. As you can see, I have her level 75. I'll have her level 80 very soon. She's pretty much essential. I would say these three pretty much always stay the same for me. I like having Theon in the front. Enzo's got to be your front line, and I like having Sheila. She just tends to be really good, and I usually like to have her there over other potential options. So the rest of my three are all going to depend on what level of enemy I'm hitting and what type they are. So in this case, it is an infantry. So because it's infantry, I will say that in general, Enzo's going to stay alive pretty easily against them. I don't need a big healer or a big shielder out of them. If this was different, and I'll talk about the other types of rebel leaders, then I would want someone else other than Annie. Annie gives a good bit of defense and a little bit of attack, as well as some might to all of her allies. This is really good for me because that might bonus is going to mean that Theon gets his skill off quicker, and the defense bonus is good because it's going to keep Enzo alive a little bit longer by adding and adding to his defense, and then we're all giving everyone a little bit more attack is always a good thing, and that lasts for a whole 9 seconds, and she's going to keep getting to do it every so often, so that's overall very, very good. Really like that. Annie is very helpful here. Now, Meryl and Mango. These are both just the high damage dealers that are both cav. Because this is an inf opponent, I want to be using both of them. Now, I would say that when I get Layla to gold, I may switch her in for Mango. It's a little bit close. I tend to think that Meryl's a little bit higher damage than Mango, but very, very close. And other than that, there aren't really anyone else that deals that much damage. I don't know if Night King at full maxed is better. I don't think he is, though. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think people use him in rebel leaders. And Raymond is fine, but Meryl and Mango tend to be stronger, and if you don't have him gold, it's definitely not worth it. But none of the other commanders here are going to be doing enough damage for me to want to use them. So I'm going to skip over all of them. I've got a lot of damage out of Rob, but it's not worth it. And again, I'd rather have Sheila in than another cav commander. Now, a lot of people use Gene. Again, if you don't have Enzo, or if Enzo isn't as strong, then maybe you do want to use Gene. But let's just go ahead and see how much damage this does. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. Really quickly, before I do that, I'm going to just pop a quick buff. I always like to do this. You should have plenty of them. I've got 206 more of the 25%. I like to just pop this before I do some Rebel Leaders. Just give me a little added edge. All right, so let's hit this guy. All right, we've got our formation set, and here we go. So we're going to see how much damage this does, and then I'll go ahead and we'll watch the video of it just to see what's going on and when all that damage is being dealt. But as you can see, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Okay, 30%. So right off the bat, that's actually not great damage. I kind of wish I did a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and watch this and see what happened and kind of why I did the damage that I did. So things to look out for are Enzo's health bar. That's going to be our main determinant of our damage, to be totally honest with you. Everyone else is pretty consistent. They're going to do the same amount of damage every time. They're just not going to be that variable. The biggest variation is, did Enzo kind of get lucky? Did he get an extra shield at some point? Did he get any extra healing? Get kind of lucky with that? Anything in that nature. All right, here we go. So we got 45 seconds. We want to just start hitting that down as quickly as we can. Again, it is a level 5, so it's pretty tough. Level 4s, I would not use Annie, and I'm usually able to come pretty close to one-shotting it. If not one-shotting, then just a little bit under one-shotting a level 4. Okay, so we're using our abilities here. As you can see, that damage ticker is going. Right now, as you can see, it's moving pretty slowly. I don't do a ton of damage at the start. It's really later on, once Theon's fully stacked, once Enzo's gotten his health bar taken down a little bit more. That's when I start doing a lot more damage. All right, Enzo's hitting there. Okay, Theon's hitting. We got about 20 seconds left. We're only at 10. We've only taken down 9% in the first half of the time. So as you can see, it really does pick up a lot more in the later half. It looks like Enzo isn't getting all that low. Like the fact that we're at 15 seconds left and he's still got 20k health left says to me that he's not getting weakened enough. So we may need to move Annie out. Well, he's getting lower now. Okay, he's at 9k. All right, that's actually not bad. So as you can see, in the last couple seconds, we've done another 15% already. Yeah, he's getting 4,000. You'll see that damage really starts to deal a lot more in the second half of our hit than in the first half. All right, so he just randomly died there. Wow, okay. So he's dead. That looked actually pretty good. I think that this is probably the right formation. We just didn't do a ton of damage this time, and that's okay. 31% there is going to be enough that I'll probably be able to 3-shot it, just because I get a little bit of added buff from each sequential hit that I make. So let's go ahead and hit it again. Really need to be able to make this in 3 shots, though. And like I said, I like to use that. I like to pop the buff just to make sure I do it in 3. And I really am only able to do cav. Rebel Leaders that are infantry where I can use cavalry against them. Those are the only ones that I tend to be able to 3-shot level 5s with. Okay, so I did 34% damage that time. So I did a little bit better. And as you can see, if I just do 34% again, I'm going to be able to take him down in 3 shots, which again is about what I expected. My guess is that in that hit, first of all, I get a little bit of bonus damage. As you can see, I'm getting some bonus. Wow, 249, that seems like a ton. Okay, I'm going to do our last hit. And hopefully I should be able to kill it in just those 3 shots. But again, part of the point is that there is some variability with Enzo, and you want to try to minimize that variability as much as you can. But it's really a little bit out of your control sometimes, and you just got to hope for the best. Okay, 34.46, looks like we got him. All right, there we go, he's dead. Nice. So we're able to kill him. Great. Okay, let's see what we got from these. So important to note, these rewards that you get are going to be completely random every time. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. It doesn't matter whether you 1-shot it, whether you take 5 shots to kill it. It will always be just based on you hit a level 5 or you hit a level 4. That caps the quality, so I can get any material from this one. If I hit a level 4, I would be kind of restricted to just a purple, or if it was a level 3, a blue, and so on. So this one, this was a terrible pull. Well, I'll take 150 diamonds, but not great. All right, this one not great either. This one we got a lot more. I got 450 diamonds. That's great. Okay, so as you can see, the ones where we did less damage got more rewards. So it really is unrelated to that. Okay, great. So that was killing a level 5 Old Town student. Please be aware that if I did not have Enzo or Theon, it would be very different. So just take a look at it really quickly. Here, I'm going to just pop enough just so I can attack one. Let's take a look at what I would do if I didn't have Enzo and Theon. So first of all, if I have Enzo but he's not higher, I'd probably use Jean in this, and that would probably be my lineup. It would look something like this. Again, if I had a lower, weaker Enzo. Because I have a stronger Enzo, Jean would heal him too quickly and it would actually be less efficient. But let's say for a second that I don't have paid commanders. What I would probably do, and I probably wouldn't be hitting level 5s then, but I would probably use Rob, or maybe Winton, but probably Rob. And again, so I'm assuming no paid commanders. I'd probably use Jean, these guys, and then it depends on what I'm going for. I'd probably move Sheila down to here. And then I would either be using like probably Soren. If I was free to play, I'd probably awaken Soren max and I'd put him in here. Or I would maybe consider, if I had anyone awoken, maybe I would use Layla if I didn't have Enzo for some reason, but I don't think that would make a ton of sense. Also, some people like to use Julian. I wouldn't use him against an infantry, but definitely something to consider. But again, not if you're not paid. So this would probably be my formation if I didn't have paid commanders. I'm using Rob in the front line because I just really wanted to stay alive at that point, and using Jean would probably help. But I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you learned a thing or two about how to best kill an infantry rebel leader. If you've found a way to two-shot a level 5, please let me know, hit me up. But I certainly have not. Just as a quick bonus, I'm going to do a quick level 4, see if we can one-shot it. I'm just doing this live, so, no promises, but let's try to go 30. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and I'll say that I usually use Enzo, and I'm not going to use anyone behind him. I'm not going to use a healer there. I'm going to throw Layla in, and let's get Theon. Okay. All right, let's see if we can one-shot it. No promises, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay. And again, just with the level 4, the reason why I'm not using Annie is that I don't need any extra defense or any extra health. I actually want them to get Enzo a little bit lower, and so my hope is that that will accomplish this. 85%, so not quite. Like I said, it's just very variable based on how much damage Enzo's doing. He probably stayed, either alive for too long or died a little bit too early. It's kind of just a little bit random and part of the game. But hopefully you learned a thing or two. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, I will be doing a new video on both spears, infantry, and bows and what to do with those. That was a nice little rhyme right there. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. My name is TyrionLanstr. Have a good one, guys.